Министерством Российской Федерации по развитию Дальнего Востока и Министерством иностранных дел Республики Корея о создании Российско-Корейского форума межрегионального сотрудничества. Министр цифрового развития, связи и массовых коммуникаций Российской Федерации Константин Юрьевич Носков.
Now, let's give the floor to Minister of Economic Development and his ROK counterpart to exchange a intergovernmental contract on technological cooperation, ICT. Minister of Culture from Korea and the ROK counterpart signed contract on cooperation of sports and cultural industry. And this cooperation shall continue all the way towards the year 2020. Minister of Sports of Russia and his ROK counterpart signed a contract on developing tourism and sports. Russian Minister of Labor and Social Security and the Minister of Health of ROK signed a cooperation contract on developing well-being affairs. Minister of Agriculture of Russia and his ROK counterpart signed a cooperation contract on conducting cooperations in the agriculture sector. The mayor of Moscow and the mayor of Seoul signed a contract on conducting cooperation in the field of education. Russia Railway Corporation and ROK Railway Corporation signed a contract on conducting cooperation in railway construction. Novtek Energy Company of Russia signed a contract with the Natural Gas Corporation of ROK, an MOU of conducting cooperation in gas, in LNG, liquid natural gas. The investment company in Russia and his counterparts in Korea and some other enterprises from both sides signed contracts on co-building medical center and relevant investment affairs. This includes cooperation in promoting medical education in universities. On top of those consensus, the leaders signed a joint declaration. That's the end for the signing ceremony. And now let's give the floor to Russian President Vladimir Putin and ROK President Moon Jae-in. Ladies and gentlemen, the dialogue between us and his state visit of President Moon is of highly significance for bilateral relations. We conducted many cooperation and communication on major global affairs. For example, the developing of bilateral relations and joint declaration was passed. We reached a lot of mutual understandings. Government officials and business leaders have signed many contracts, as you have seen. This cooperation has been highly effective. We take each other's interest into consideration. We also attach importance to mutual development on the ground of respecting each other's core interest. The trade volume between these two countries up by 27% last year. It reached $19.5 billion. The ROK is the second biggest Asian trading partner of Russia. ROK's investment towards Russia exceeds $1 billion. We also conduct cooperation with more than 150 companies in ROK in terms of production, industry, hotel management, and food industry. Both sides also have some ongoing projects, especially in energy field. The cooperation has been quite fruitful. Last year, we supplied 19 million tons of crude oil to ROK, and there is also this cooperation of Arctic shipping routes between these two countries. We also have procurement of the ships from ROK. We also conduct cooperation on excavation of LNG and natural gas at the Arctic Circle. Last year, for the first time, we held the first regional cooperation forum. It is fair to say that all parties participated actively in the bilateral cooperation. For example, in Vladivostok, we conducted shipping cooperation and discuss how to use Arctic shipping routes and building railways. These major projects were also rediscussed during our summit last year, in which President Moon also participated. And this cooperation has been quite fruitful. I believe there are very positive progress. Each year, we also conduct a cultural day and a cultural festival between these two countries. And President Moon also participated in the economic forum held in St. Petersburg last year in 2017. Tourists from ROK also surged, and vice versa. Russia tourists to ROK is up by about 30%. And in terms of global affairs, we follow closely the changes and situation of the Korean Peninsula. We are happy to see that situation has been improving, especially between DPRK and ROK. And that's because of the efforts from both sides, both ROK and DPRK. I also want to highlight the dialogue between the U.S., recently held dialogue between the U.S. and DPRK leaders. ROK also participated actively and promoted and advocated this dialogue. These results is of high significance and will lay a solid foundation for regional security. And last but not least, I want to thank again President Moon and all of the colleagues and counterparts on the ROK side. We believe that with the joint effort and with the dialogue, this will not be the end. And tomorrow, President Moon will be join us in a World Cup football game tomorrow. We also wish that this game can be memorable, can be a very beautiful memory to President Moon and your colleagues. I want to send my gratitude once again to the President, his colleagues, and ROK people. My tribute also goes to the hospitality during the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games on the side of the ROK. Thank you. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Russians' hospitality and the friendship shown by Vladimir Putin. We want to congratulate first on Russia successfully holding the World Cup, and I heard that Russian team is doing so well in its group, for which the Russian people are very joyful, and our people in ROK are also watching closely and follow closely the World Cup game, and the football really brings us together. Last year, we met each other for the first time in a summit, and 9 months later, I visited yet again Russia. And during our first visit, we talked about our economic cooperation. Last year, I visited Vladivostok, discussing issues of economic cooperation, and we believe that we have great potential in this regard. This year, I came to Moscow with a heart and willingness to continue to further the bilateral cooperation. I believe that President Putin shared the same objectives and goals in order to improve the well-being of people from both countries, and also that the benefit of the policy can be enjoyed by people from both countries. First of all, we will conduct technological cooperation to seek future development potentials. In order to do that, we will build a Russia-ROK Cooperation Center and expand the Technological Cooperation Center headquartered in Moscow. At the same time, we will also strengthen support and investment for SMEs, especially in new energy field, and the potential in this part will be further unleashed. Next month, the forum will be held in Russia, and ROK will also be participating in this forum, talking about new energy cooperation and other fields. The two governments will have also discussed on the investment area concerning the signing of FAT treaty. This kind of cooperation and discussion are all aiming at improving the living standard and well-being of two peoples, especially provide better employment opportunities for young people from both countries. The two governments in Eurasia area and the Far East area, in order to realize mutual prosperity, common prosperity, will continue to expand our scope of cooperation. Last time I participated in the Eastern Economy Forum, I mentioned the so-called 9-bridge strategy, and today we also discuss potential cooperation fields in railway, power, and shipping manufacture, and so on. And this cooperation is highly significant for both sides. We believe that the strategy will be put to implemented as soon as possible. The intergovernmental cooperation is so important, and so is the city-level cooperation. In this way, the two people can really share the benefit of our cooperation. And the third will expand our scope of cooperation in the medical field, improving the well-being of the two peoples. Establishing a Korean hospital in the special economic zone, providing special medical services. The ROK will also be using advanced and state-of-the-art IT technologies to build a series of well-constructed medical system and optimize the online medical system. We believe that with the cooperation, we can realize better, we can achieve better results in terms of medicine. We hope that the Eurasia continent and the peninsula can progress together. The DPRK, ROK, and Russia's economic cooperation is key and is core to the interest of all three countries. But ROK and Russia should be laying the foundation and cooperate in natural gas, LNG, and railway and power. This is only the beginning of our cooperation. Not long ago, ROK joined the natural railway cooperation, during which the Russian government gave us a lot of support and help, for which I'm highly grateful. Last but not least, I want to thank President Putin for inviting us, and thank you for your hospitality for hosting us here in Moscow. Thank you very much.